If I told you that the life you're living right now is not actually yours, would you believe me? That your thoughts, your habits, your decisions, even the way you respond to life are not entirely the result of your conscious choice, but the effect of something much, Bob Proctor once said, a paradigm is a multitude of habits stored in your subconscious mind that controls almost everything you do. And here's the truth. If you don't change that paradigm, you can read all the books, attend all the seminars, and fill notebooks with affirmations, and your life will remain exactly the same. Today, I'm going to share 3 techniques that can truly change your life forever, but I won't just list them. We're going to walk through them slowly, in depth, in a way that forces you to see yourself differently. Because this is not about surface level motivation. This is about shifting the very blueprint of your mind. And if you stay with me until the end, you might discover that the real obstacle in your life has never been the economy, your past, or the people around you, but the invisible program running inside you. So let's start. Technique number 1, the paradigm awareness breakthrough. You cannot change what you do not understand. The first and most underestimated technique to change a paradigm is deep awareness. The kind of awareness that doesn't just notice what's wrong, but actually sees the invisible strings pulling the puppet. Most people live with a vague idea that something needs to change, but they try to change their results without ever identifying the hidden pattern that created them. Bob Proctor would often remind his students, you can't escape a prison if you don't know you're in one. And that is exactly what your current paradigm is. A prison with invisible walls. To practice the paradigm awareness breakthrough, you start by observing your automatic behavior. I mean, really observing them. Notice the way you react when money comes in or goes out. Notice the thoughts that appear when someone compliments you. Notice how you respond when an opportunity requires you to step outside your comfort zone. Here's the key. You're not looking to judge yourself. You're looking to catch the automatic nature of your reaction. For example, imagine you get an unexpected bill. Your immediate reaction might be panic, frustration, or even anger. But what if, instead, you paused and thought, interesting, this is my paradigm speaking. This is not who I have to be. The awareness alone is powerful. It interrupts the habitual cycle. Bob Proctor taught that the subconscious mind operates like a thermostat. No matter how much you try to change consciously, if the thermostat is set to a certain temperature, your results will eventually return there. Awareness is the first step to resetting that thermostat. How to practice it daily every iteki anochibu. And I do mean physically, right? Not type and record 3 moments in your day when you felt pulled by habit. Maybe you procrastinated. Maybe you avoided a conversation. Maybe you declined an opportunity that made you nervous. For each, ask, what belief or fear was operating in the background? You'll begin to see the pattern. You might discover that you always hesitate to invest in yourself, or that you downplay your achievements in conversations, or that you overwork because you fear being seen as lazy. This awareness is not comfortable, and it's not supposed to be. Bob Proctor would say, comfort is the enemy of growth. Why this works your paradigm is like the operating system of a computer. Most people try to fix their life by changing files on the desktop, a new job, a new goal, a new habit, but the operating system is still the same. Awareness is how you start looking under the hood. Let's be clear. Awareness alone won't fully change the paradigm, but without it, the other techniques are useless. It's like trying to paint a wall without cleaning it first. The paint will peel off. The moment you start seeing your automatic responses for what they are, programming, not identity, you take back a piece of your power. You move from being unconsciously controlled to consciously observing, and that shift is monumental. Bob Proctor often described the day he first understood his own paradigm as the day his entire world cracked open. He realized he wasn't just a guy who never finished school or someone bad with him. Those were labels, created by his past conditioning. And if they were created, they could be replaced. So here's your challenge for the next 7 days. Every time you notice yourself saying, that's just the way I am, stop. Ask yourself, is it? Or is it just my paradigm? You'll be surprised how many things you thought were actually just habits your mind has been repeating for years. When you do this consistently, something begins to shift. The old mental wiring starts to lose, and you create space for the new paradigm you want to build. And speaking of building in the next technique, we're going to move from seeing the old paradigm to deliberately installing a new one. Because once you've opened the prison door, you still need to step out. Technique number 2, the conscious installation of a new image awareness cracks the shell. But it's not enough to leave the old paradigm behind. You must replace it with something new. Bob Proctor was relentless about this. If you don't consciously choose your new image, the old one will keep showing up. This is where most people fail. They become aware of their patterns, feel the discomfort of recognizing them, and then they stop. The mind doesn't like a vacuum. If you remove the old program without installing a new one, the old program will quietly slide back in. The second technique is what I call the conscious installation of a new image, a process of deliberately designing and embedding a mental picture of the person you want to be, until your subconscious accepts it as your new normal. Why an image? Your subconscious mind doesn't think in words, it thinks in pictures and feelings. If you tell yourself, I am successful, but in your mind you still see yourself struggling, exhausted, or overlooked, the subconscious will follow the picture, not the sentence. That's why Bob Proctor would say, if you can't see it in your mind, you'll never hold it in your hand. Step 1. Design the image, take a pen and paper, and write in vivid detail the version of you who has already broken free from the old paradigm. Don't write as if it's a wish. Write as if your reality right now. For example, instead of, I want to be confident in meetings, right? I walk into meetings with calm certainty, knowing my input is valuable and respected. My body language is open, my tone is steady, and I speak with clarity. Go beyond achievements and possession. Describe the way you think, the way you carry yourself, the emotions you feel daily. Describe how you handle setbacks, how you treat others, how you talk to yourself when no one is watching. When Bob Proctor changed his paradigm around wealth, he didn't just picture having more money. He pictured himself as the kind of person who naturally earns, manages, and multiplies money. That distinction is everything. Step 2. Saturate the mind. Your current paradigm is deeply ingrained because you've been feeding it for years through repetition, through emotional experiences, through the people you've surrounded yourself with. To install a new image, you must feed it with the same intensity. This means revisiting your new image daily, ideally multiple times a day. Close your eyes and see yourself as that person, not becoming that person. Being that person, feel the emotions of living that reality now. Bob Proctor often told his students to carry a written statement of their new image and read it morning and night with full emotion. Not mechanically, not like a chore, but with the feeling that this is me now. At first, it will feel fake, and that's okay. Think about it. Your old paradigm also felt fake at one point when you were a child learning to speak, to walk, to ride a bike. With repetition, it became second nature. The same will happen. Step 3, act as if here's where most people hesitate because it requires courage. Once you have the image, you must start acting in alignment with it before you feel ready. If your new paradigm is, I am a decisive, confident leader, you can't keep avoiding tough decisions. If your new paradigm is, I am financially responsible, you can't keep spending impulsively. This is the friction point where transformation either happens or dies. Bob Proctor would say, the second you act like the person you want to become, you send a signal to the universe and to your own subconscious that the change is already in motion. It's like telling your mind, we're not waiting for permission. This is who we are now. Why this works when you repeatedly see, feel, and act from your new image. You're sending consistent, emotionally charged messages to your subconscious. Over time, your subconscious accepts the new image as reality, and once that happens, your outer results begin to match it automatically. Think of it like planting a seed. Awareness clears the soil. The new image is the seed you place there. Saturating the mind is watering it daily, acting as if it's exposing it to sunlight. Without all three, the seed doesn't grow. The resistance phase, expect push. Your old paradigm will fight for survival. It will whisper, you're not ready. People will laugh. This isn't you. That's a sign you're making progress. The resistance means you're moving beyond the boundary of your current comfort zone. Bob Proctor compared it to a rocket leaving Earth. The highest resistance is during takeoff. Once you break through the atmosphere, movement becomes. The same goes for a paradigm shift. The hardest part is the beginning. A personal practice you can start tonight before bed. Lie down, close your eyes, and spend 5 minutes seeing your new image and feel the emotions of living that life now. Then ask yourself, what is one small action I can take tomorrow that aligns with this image? It doesn't have to be dramatic. If your new image is someone who speaks with confidence, maybe tomorrow you speak up in a small meeting. If your new image is someone who invests in personal growth, maybe tomorrow you buy a book that challenges you. The point is to start embodying the image in small, consistent steps, because those steps, repeated over time, become the habits of your new paradigm. When you do this long enough, something beautiful happens. The new image stops feeling like a performance and starts feeling like home. And when that happens, the old paradigm doesn't just fade, it loses its power completely. The third technique will take us even deeper into the emotional reprogramming that makes your new paradigm unshakable, even under pressure. Technique number 3, emotional reinforcement for permanent change. By now, you've done 2 critical things. You've become aware of your old paradigm. You've begun installing a new. But here's the problem without emotional reinforcement. Your subconscious will always be tempted to default back to the familiar. Bob Proctor put it bluntly, the subconscious mind is moved by emotion, not logic. You can have the clearest vision in the world, but if it doesn't have emotional weight, it won't stick. Think about it. The strongest memories you have are tied to feelings. Joy, fear, shame, excitement. That's not a coincidence. The subconscious remembers what the conscious mind forgets because emotion acts as glue. This third technique is about using that same principle deliberately. Instead of letting random emotional experiences shape you, you will choose the emotions that feed your new paradigm. Step 1. Connect your image to a deep why. If you've written your new image but haven't connected it to a meaningful reason, it will feel flat. You'll tell yourself, I want to be financially free. But if you can't attach it to something deeply personal, your subconscious won't prioritize it. Bob Proctor used to ask his students, why do you want it? And why do you really want it? The first answer is usually the second, the third, the fourth. That's where the emotional charge lies. For example, I want to be financially free. Why? So I can quit my job. Why? So I can spend more time with my family. Why? Because I missed too many moments with them already, and I don't want to lose another year. That last answer is the one with emotional power. That's the fuel. Step 2. Create emotional anchors. An emotional anchor is a deliberate trigger that activates the feelings of your new paradigm. These can be physical, auditory, or visual. Physical, a specific gesture or posture you adopt when visualizing your new image. Maybe standing tall with your shoulders back, breathing deeply. Auditory, a song or affirmation that instantly connects you to the energy of your new identity. Visual, an image, symbol, or even a specific outfit that makes you feel like the person you are becoming. Bob Proctor often carried a goal card in his pocket, a small piece of paper with his goal written in present tense. Every time he touched it, he'd reignite the emotional connection to it. That's a perfect example of an anchor in action. Step 3. Practice emotional immersion. Set aside time daily, even 5 minutes, to immerse yourself emotionally in a new paradigm. Close your eyes, breathe slowly, and picture yourself living it. But here's the twist. Don't just see it, feel it. Feel the pride, the relief, the gratitude, the joy. Let your chest expand as if it's already yours. Your body doesn't distinguish between a vividly imagined emotional experience and a real one. That's why professional athletes visualize victories. They're training their nervous system to respond as if it has already happened. You're doing the same for your paradigm. Step 4. Redirect emotional energy from the old paradigm when you catch yourself slipping into old patterns. Frustration, doubt, fear. Don't just push the emotion away. Redirect it. If you feel fear before taking action, acknowledge it and then use it as this fear means I'm stretching my comfort zone, exactly what my new paradigm requires. Bob Proctor would remind us, your old conditioning will scream for attention. Let it talk, then keep moving toward your goal. Why this works? When your new image is charged with emotion, your subconscious mind treats it as urgent. It begins adjusting your thoughts, behaviors, and even your perception of opportunities to align with it. It's like setting a GPS in your mind once the destination is locked in emotionally. Your subconscious starts navigating you there automatically. A story from Bob Proctor's experience when Bob first began changing his paradigm around wealth. He didn't just think about the money. He pictured himself taking care of his mother, helping her live without financial stress. That emotional connection became his anchor. Every time he thought about quitting, he pictured her smiling, relieved, safe. That kept him moving forward when logic said it wasn't possible. An exercise you can start tonight before you sleep. Take your written image from technique number 2, read it out loud slowly. After each sentence, pause and imagine living that moment. Feel it in your body, smile as if it's real now. Let the emotion rise. Then set one small action for tomorrow that reflects this feeling. If your paradigm is about confidence, maybe tomorrow you make a decision without overthinking. If your paradigm is about abundance, maybe tomorrow you give generously to someone without hesitation. The point is simple. Thought plus emotion plus action equals paradigm reinforcement. Miss any one of those, and the change will be weak. Keep all 3 aligned, and the change becomes inevitable. The payoff when you integrate emotional reinforcement into your paradigm work, something profound happens. Your new self-image stops being a goal and starts feeling like reality. The old habits, the old fears, they lose their emotional grip. And without that grip, they can no longer pull you back. As Bob Proctor often said, you don't attract what you want, you attract what you are. By making your new paradigm emotionally real, you're not just thinking about being that person, you're being that person now. By now, you've learned the 3 core techniques for changing your paradigm: deep awareness, conscious installation of a new image, and emotional reinforcement. Each one on its own is powerful, but the true transformation happens when you integrate them into a daily practice, a system that consistently rewires your mind. Bob Proctor always emphasized that knowledge alone is useless without action. He said, knowing isn't enough. You must apply what you know. That means taking these techniques from theory to practice in a way that becomes automatic, habitual, and unshakable. Step 1. Morning activation. The way you start your day sets the tone for your paradigm. Begin with 15 to 30 minutes of what I call morning activation. This is a combination of awareness, visualization, and emotional reinforcement. Awareness check. Close your eyes and review the patterns from yesterday. Ask yourself, where did my old paradigm appear? Did I respond automatically or consciously? Notice without judgment. Awareness is your first anchor of power. Image visualization. Take your new self-image and visualize it vividly. Imagine yourself acting, speaking, and responding exactly as the person you want to become. Include small details, gestures, posture, tone of voice. This is the installation phase repeated daily. Emotional engagement. Pair the visualization with strong feelings. Feel the pride, gratitude, and confidence, as if it's happening right now. Bob Proctor always stressed that emotion is the key to convincing the subconscious. You have to feel it to believe it, and believe it to achieve it. Doing this in the morning is not just a routine. It's a signal to your subconscious mind that today will follow the new paradigm. Step 2. Midday reinforcement. Your paradigm is most vulnerable during the hours of routine, stress, or without reinforcement, the old habits creep back in. Set aside 5 to 10 minutes during lunch or a break for a mini refresh. Close your eyes for a few breaths. Recall one specific area where your old paradigm might take over: fear, doubt, procrastination. Visualize yourself handling it perfectly as your new self-image dictates. Infuse it with emotion, relief, excitement, certainty. This brief, intentional break interrupts automatic responses and strengthens the new pathways in your brain. Step 3. Evening reflection before bed. Engage in what I call evening reflection. This combines awareness and emotional reinforcement to end the day on the right note. Review. Write down moments where your old paradigm appeared. Note your reaction and what you would do differently next time. Celebrate wins. List moments when you acted according to your new paradigm, no matter how small. Recognizing progress is essential. It reinforces the neural connections that support your transformation. Emotional recharge. Visualize one major goal of your new paradigm as already accomplished. Feel it deeply and let gratitude fill you. Bob Proctor believed that gratitude is one of the strongest emotional drivers to align the subconscious with your desires. Step 4. Weekly deep dive once a week. Take 30 to 60 minutes to do a deep paradigm session. Review the patterns that continue to resist change. Revisit and expand your self-image in writing, adding more detail and refinement. Engage in intense emotional visualization tied to long-term goals. This weekly practice is where subtle breakthroughs happen. Small inconsistencies or limiting beliefs that resisted daily practice often dissolve during these sessions. Step 5. Continuous feedback loop. Your paradigm is not static. It evolves as your life evolves. That means your system must include a feedback loop. Monitor how you respond to stress, new opportunities, and challenges. Adjust your self-image to reflect growth and expansion. Add emotional anchors for new scenarios. Bob Proctor explained this with a simple metaphor. Your mind is like a garden. You cannot simply plant seeds and walk away. You must water, weed, and tend it constantly. How to handle setbacks. Even with a system, setbacks are inevitable. Old habits will occasionally resurface. When this happens, resist guilt or frustration. Instead, ask yourself, which technique am I neglecting? Awareness, installation, emotional reinforcement. What can I do right now to realign with my new paradigm? The key is consistency over perfection. One conscious step toward your new paradigm is more powerful than a day of perfect practice followed by days of unconscious behavior. The compounding effect when you consistently apply this system, change accelerates exponentially. Each day of awareness, visualization, and emotional reinforcement compounds on the last. Bob Proctor often compared this to a snowball rolling down a hill. At first, progress is slow, almost invisible, but over time, the snowball grows larger and faster. eventually impossible to stop. This is why the 3 techniques integrated into a daily system are more than just exercises. They are a blueprint for total transformation. They shift not only your habits, but your perception, your emotional responses, and ultimately your reality. Your daily action plan: morning, 15 to 30 minutes of awareness. Visualization plus emotion: midday, 5 to 10 minutes of reinforcement and mental correction, 10 to 15 minutes of reflection. Gratitude and emotional immersion weekly: 30 to 60 minutes deep dive into patterns. Self-image and emotional anchors: follow this consistently. And the 3 techniques no longer feel like separate actions. They become the natural operating system of your life. You've now walked through the full process, becoming aware of your old paradigm, installing a new self-image, and reinforcing it emotionally. By this point, you might already feel a subtle shift, a little more freedom in your thoughts, a little more power in your choices. That's the sign your subconscious is listening. Bob Proctor often said, "The moment you change the way you think, you change the way you live." But what makes this permanent is not a single moment of insight. It's the daily commitment to living as your new self. Even when start each day by checking in with yourself. Notice where the old habits are still trying to operate. Instead of resisting them with frustration, observe them and let them pass. Then deliberately step into your new paradigm, the one you've designed, felt, and practiced. Let your emotions carry it into reality. This alignment between thought, feeling, and action is what makes change unstoppable. As you continue, you'll notice the compounding effects. Small actions, a conversation handled differently, a decision made without hesitation, a fear confronted instead of avoided, begin to accumulate. These moments are proof that the new paradigm is no longer just a mental experiment. It's your new operating system. Bob Proctor emphasized the importance of persistence. It's not knowing what to do, it's doing what you know. Every day you apply these techniques, you reinforce the new patterns. And when you face challenges, financial, relational, or emotional, the new paradigm gives you a framework to respond with clarity, confidence, and control instead of reacting from old habits. Remember that change is not linear. There will be setbacks, moments when the old paradigm sneaks in, when doubt arises. This is natural. The difference is that now you have tools to recognize these moments, to reconnect with your vision, and to use emotion deliberately to pull yourself back into alignment. Over time, these tools stop being techniques and become instinctive responses. Finally, the most profound aspect of this transformation is internal. While your circumstances may shift, the deepest change is in how you perceive yourself. You no longer see limitations as fixed. You see patterns, and seeing patterns is power. Because once you can see them, you can choose to replace them. Bob Proctor's teaching was simple, yet revolutionary. You don't attract what you want. You attract what you are. By changing who you are at the subconscious level through awareness, image installation, and emotional reinforcement, you change the trajectory of your life. You step out of autopilot and into conscious creation. So today, make a commitment to yourself. Start small, but be consistent. Begin with awareness. Build your new image. Feed it with emotion. And apply it in every interaction, every decision, every moment. Over time, these deliberate actions fuse into habits. And habits shape destiny. Changing a paradigm is not a one-time event. It's a lifelong practice. But the rewards: freedom from old limitations, clarity in your decisions, confidence in your path, are worth every step. Your life is waiting for this shift. The door is open. Awareness is the first step. Image is the direction. Emotion is the fuel. Walk through. And if you found value in this journey, if these techniques resonate with you and you want to continue learning practical ways to evolve your mindset, make sure to subscribe to this channel. Hit the bell icon so you never miss a new video. And join a community of people committed to transforming their paradigms and creating extraordinary lives. Because the first step toward changing your life is taking action, and this channel is here to guide you every step of the way.